Double whammy. Wicked weather hitting both coasts this holiday. Massive flooding, uprooted trees. Plus, we're tracking the new storm heading for the west that could bring snow to California on your drive home from Christmas.
Also overnight, fallout after the firing of that Boeing CEO as the 737 MAX recertifications are delayed. What's next for the aircraft giant?
Shopping stampede. The scary moment a crowd scrambles for prizes hidden in balloons at the mall, putting several in the hospital with just hours to go until Christmas, and the best way to get those last-minute gifts.
Back home, the newborn baby of that murdered Texas mother reunited with her family overnight. Friends still in shock as people gather to remember the mother of two.
ABC News exclusive, lucky to be alive. The surfer attacked by a great white shark speaking out. The harrowing tale and the quick thinking that saved his life only on GMA.
A very royal Christmas. Harry, Meghan, and baby Archie, their adorable holiday card revealed.
I'm here to save it.
And a Christmas miracle. One church helping thousands of families pay off millions. The stunning holiday surprise.
Live in Times Square, this is Good Morning America.
Hey, Good Morning America. Merry Christmas Eve. And we start today with a big exclusive. We have a sneak peek at Santa's naughty and nice list.
Are you on the naughty list or the nice list?
I've seen it, and I heard what you guys did this year.
It's a dangerous reveal. That's still ahead, but we are getting ready. And I know one guy who's definitely ready for Christmas, Santa Claus. We are tracking St. Nick right now. We'll be watching him all morning. He is flying over New Zealand. As we speak, he's already delivered more than 300 million presents to many happy children out there, and many more to come.
And adults.
And adults.
Don't forget the adults.
Right.
Yeah. But we begin with that severe weather. Storms along both U.S. coasts causing trouble for last-minute travelers. Rob is tracking the latest with just hours to get to Christmas Eve dinner. Good morning to you, Rob.
Good morning, Eva. Santa would need water skis yesterday and this morning across parts of the southeast. Look at Charleston, South Carolina. It floods there on a good day, and they'd be anywhere between 3 to 5 inches of rainfall in a very short amount of time. So lowland flooding there in the low country. Hollywood, Florida, Broward County, and we talked about this yesterday. They saw over a foot of rainfall, and that obviously very low country too. So difficult, to say the least, to get around town there. So here's our low. It's kind of went out, kind of came back. It's slow to get out of here, but it will do so eventually later on this afternoon. But this morning, along the coastlines of Hilton Head, Charleston, Myrtle Beach, up through Wilmington, you're going to see some coastal flooding and some rain. Now, we got a couple of storms out west. Let's talk about the first one that it brought 1 to 2 inches of rainfall to Los Angeles at Fraser Park, about 5,000 feet. Just a dusting of snow. It's a pretty warm storm, but we have winter weather advisories a little bit farther inland. North of Phoenix, I-17, I think is going to be an issue today. We could see 6 to 12 inches of snow with that. And another 5 to 6 states are under winter weather advisories. With the next system now coming in Southern California, another 1 to 2 inches of rain for San Diego, for Los Angeles, for Redondo Beach. So that will be difficult to get around Christmas Day and above about 5,000 feet. And that includes I-5, the Grapevine. You're probably going to see a little bit in the way of snow there. So difficult go across parts of the West. Tom, over to you.
All right, Rob, thanks. Now to Washington and a new front in the impeachment showdown. Lawyers for House Democrats raising the possibility of impeaching President Trump a second time as the president lashes out at Nancy Pelosi over her refusal to send articles of impeachment to the Senate. Rachel Scott is in West Palm Beach traveling with the president as he spends the holiday in Florida. Rachel, good morning.
Tom, good morning. Yes, President Trump will spend this Christmas Eve wishing members of the military a happy holidays over a video teleconference, but impeachment is clearly top of mind. The president once again lashing out and railing against House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, accusing her of trying to take over the Senate and dictate the terms of a trial. Pelosi, though, is standing firm. She says she will not turn over the articles of impeachment to the Senate until Republicans reveal how the trial would be structured. And she challenged President Trump to turn over documents and allow top aides to testify. Tom?
Rachel, Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell raised some eyebrows yesterday, now saying he's open to the idea of having witnesses at the trial?
That's right, Tom. McConnell says he has not ruled out the idea, but there is one catch. He says it would have to first be approved by the majority of the Senate, where Republicans outnumber Democrats, and many key Republicans have already said they are against that idea. Democrats, though, are now seizing on those newly released emails that show administration officials discuss the holdup of military aid to Ukraine just 90 minutes after the president's now infamous phone call with the leader. Now, one administration official says that timing is all a coincidence, but Senator Chuck Schumer says it is all the more reason why they need documents and witnesses. Tom?
All right, Rachel Scott for us this morning. Rachel, thank you. Whit?
Tom, now to growing fears over North Korea after a new satellite image appears to show a newly built structure at a military factory there. The U.S. has been on high alert since North Korea threatened a, quote, Christmas gift that analysts suspect could be a long-range missile test. Matt Gutman is in Seoul, South Korea, where tensions are running high. Matt, good morning.
Hey, good morning. With all that talk of a Christmas gift has officials not only in the U.S. but also in Japan and here in South Korea on high alert this morning. Now, that satellite did spot possible construction at a North Korean military base that has produced missiles in the past. And the big question is, what does Kim Jong-un plan to stuff that Christmas stocking with? It could be short-range missile launches or even the testing of missile engines, but it could also be the launch of long-range missiles capable of hitting the United States. That would violate UN Security Council resolutions and also break the promise that Kim made to President Trump, to stop testing those kinds of weapons. Now, the last time that we saw a long-range missile launch was back in 2017. That's when President Trump threatened to rain fire and fury on North Korea. But there is a reason for this North Korean saber rattling. The North Koreans appear to want the U.S. to drop its demand for total disarmament. They also want the U.S. to let go of that stranglehold that has been choking off the North Korean economy with those economic sanctions. Whit?
And Matt, you mentioned President Trump there. What could this mean for Trump's diplomatic efforts with North Korea?
Now, if it's short-range missiles, probably not much. There's wiggle room for diplomacy. If we see the launch of long-range missiles, that might require the president to back away from diplomacy and maybe issue some kind of U.S. response. Whit.
All right, Matt Gutman for us in Seoul, South Korea. Thank you. Eva?
Well, now to Boeing in crisis. The company firing its CEO following those 737 MAX crashes and the botched Starliner space capsule test over the weekend. David Curley is at Reagan National Airport near Washington with the latest developments. And David, his replacement already taking charge.
Already, Eva, good morning. The CEO, who was chairman of the board until yesterday, doesn't really officially start for 3 weeks, but he's already been on the phone with the FAA and the airline customers trying to reset relationships. And those relationships have frayed since those two crashes of 737 MAXs, killing nearly 350. And the inability to get that jet back into the air may have been the last straw for Dennis Muhlenberg, leading to his ouster. Boeing just ordered the shutdown of the production line, and that was a serious concern for the board. There are already 400 brand new jets sitting around the country that cannot be delivered to airline customers. And Muhlenberg actually angered the FAA when he announced that they would start deliveries this month before it actually has been approved for certification. Now, we are told that the change in leadership may not change the actual recertification and return to flight of the 737 MAX, but it could actually change those relationships between Boeing and the FAA and its airline customers, Eva.
All right, David Curley. The CEO is fired. Does he leave empty-handed?
We don't know, but he has the potential for a nearly $40 million payout in severance. Boeing says it doesn't want to talk about compensation now, just the transition. And by the way, we've just received word that there's some more additional, possibly embarrassing communications between Boeing employees about the system that may have been involved in these two crashes, which the FAA has now been given, and they are reviewing. Eva?
All right, David Curley for us. Thank you, Tom.
Eva, thanks. Now to new details in the murder of that Texas mother and the close friend now facing kidnapping charges. Officials now saying that little girl found alive at the scene is being reunited with her family. Kaylee Hartung has a story.
Overnight, a bittersweet reunion.
She's coming home tonight, and, you know, that's the best thing that, you know, could ever happen.
Baby Margot finally returning home after she and her mother vanished on December 12th. A week-long search ending in horror. Heidi Broussard's body discovered strangled to death in the trunk of her best friend's car. But an infant, believed to be her newborn Margot, was found safely inside this Houston home. Child Protective Services needed to confirm the baby's identity before returning her to family. Margot's grandfather delivering the long-awaited news.
It's just unbelievable, but it's over now.
Megan Firamuska, Broussard's close friend of more than 20 years, charged with their kidnapping. Broussard's loved ones in disbelief.
That was the biggest surprise of my life. That was insane.
Police investigating if Firamuska plotted to steal baby Margot and pass her off as her own. Broussard's mom now saying she'd been uneasy with Megan since the beginning of her friendship with Heidi, adding, "Everybody loved her. We thought Megan loved her too, but evidently that wasn't the case. She wanted Margot is what she wanted." Friends and strangers coming together at a vigil to honor Heidi and celebrate baby Margot's safe return.
I wish both of them could have came back, but it's really good that she's coming home. And I hope she looks like Heidi when she grows up.
Heidi's best friend Megan Firamuska being held at this jail here in Austin. She's facing 2 charges of kidnapping, but still no murder charges have been filed here. Local police in Austin tell us this is an ongoing investigation and they expect more charges to be filed in the coming days. Whit.
An awful case and still a lot of questions. Kaylee Hartung for us. Thank you. Now to some happy news for the royal family. Just in time for Christmas, Prince Philip was just released after spending 4 nights in the hospital. Lama Hassan joins us with more from across the pond. Lama, good morning.
And good morning to you. Yes, this morning, Buckingham Palace releasing a short but sweet statement saying Prince Philip has been discharged by his doctor. And after thanking the hospital's medical staff, the 98-year-old walked out on foot, first traveling by car and then in a helicopter heading home just in time for all the royal Christmas celebration at the Queen's sprawling estate in Sandringham. Now, the palace is staying mum about his condition, only revealing that Prince Philip was admitted to the hospital for observation and treatment of a pre-existing condition. Nevertheless, this will be welcome news for the royal family, where, in keeping with German tradition, they open their gifts on Christmas Eve. Whit?
Absolutely. And Lama, notably absent from that holiday gathering, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex.
Yes, that's right. Harry and Meghan are spending the holidays in Canada, taking a 6-week break from the spotlight. But they did just reveal their holiday card, showing an adorable 7-month-old Archie front and center, his grinning, doting parents in the background, doing it the environmentally friendly way by emailing it to their friends and colleagues. Whit?
And Archie not looking afraid of that camera one bit. Lama's on for us in London. Thank you. Eva?
Well, now to a developing story, this intensely busy holiday travel period. At least 5 airports now reporting passengers with confirmed cases of measles this month. Los Angeles, Chicago, Denver, Austin, and Richmond. Dr. Jennifer Ashton is here. And how long does it take to see these symptoms, and what are they?
This is concerning, Eva. So let's go through the timeline, if you will, for measles. First of all, this can be a period of several weeks. There's an incubation period of about 10 to 12 days. Then we get into a period of a prodrome where the early symptoms of measles then start. And we're talking about things like cough, pink eye, a runny nose, the classic spots inside the mouth, and then the classic rash. This occurs about 2 weeks after exposure. It starts on the face and head and works its way down. People can be contagious 4 days before the rash and 4 days after. So again, this could be a long period of time.
And there's a reason why people who are traveling should know about this, because it's so potentially dangerous.
Yeah, this is just not an inconvenience, Tom. And we have to remember the complications of the measles range from things like ear infections, 1 in 10 cases, 1 in 20 chance of developing pneumonia. Then you talk about brain swelling, 1 in 1,000, and a death rate of 1 to 2 per 1,000 cases. Children, pregnant women, the elderly, more susceptible.
All right, Dr. Jen Ashton, thanks for that health alert this morning. Wait.
Now to the holiday contest taking a scary turn. Take a look at this video here. Prizes and vouchers drop from above that large crowd of shoppers at a mall in Australia. People started scrambling and then falling into the barricades there. More than a dozen people were injured. And that countdown to Christmas down to just 1 day. And if you still haven't done your shopping, we have some hope for you. Trevor Alt joins us now with more on that. Trevor, good morning to you.
Whit, good morning. I'm inside the Kohl's in Secaucus, New Jersey, and it isn't necessarily packed right now, but it's also not empty. We're seeing a steady stream of people out making these last-minute holiday purchases. You know, this Kohl's and every other Kohl's location have been open 24 hours a day since Friday. That can't last forever. At 6 o'clock today, they'll be closing their doors so that these hardworking employees can get a Christmas Eve dinner. And most national chains are going to be following suit, also closing tonight at 6. If you maybe need a few extra hours, there are some other options available. We know that Target and Kmart are going to be closing at 10 o'clock tonight, as will the deep discounters like Big Lots, Dollar General, and Ross stores. Now, we're not necessarily encouraging waiting to the last minute, but the choices are there with.
All right, and Trevor, that last-minute shopping can be risky business, we know, but the millions doing it today are perhaps the most desperate.
That's right, and that's why it's so important that you know that you have your options. And it's kind of surprising how many people are deciding to wait, or other people, the holidays just get away from them. In fact, from the National Retail Federation, they said 39% of shoppers had said they plan to wrap up all their Christmas shopping, their holiday shopping, by December 18th, a week before Christmas. But 6% of them, a small chunk, but a chunk that's there, said they would be waiting until that last minute. Today, we're seeing some of them out shopping, and if I'm being honest with you, Whit, I am one of them as well. So if you have some ideas, I'll take them for you too.
Exactly. Tom, too, trying to get the best deal on that Nordic track.
Well, Nordic track, and I was going to ask him pants. Just a nice pair of pants for
Perfect.
Christmas.
Everybody's looking for a good pair, of course. Also, if you can't get to the store today, we've got some DIY Christmas hacks coming up in our second hour.
I still have my shopping to do too, so I feel you.
We're all there.
Clock's ticking. All right. Now to an incredible holiday surprise for thousands of families in Southern California. A crunch time there. The church, of course, paying off more than $5 million in medical debt thanks to donations from its members. Marcus Moore is in Los Angeles with that story. Marcus, good morning.
Hey, Tom, good morning. The congregation here says that there are absolutely no strings attached here. It's an extraordinary move. One, a co-pastor said, will help recipients find happiness, and also it will get them back on their feet and avoid homelessness. This morning, one church is creating their own Christmas miracle, helping nearly 6,000 people pay off millions of dollars worth of medical debt.
We are canceling all of the unpaid medical debt, $5.3 million, as a Christmas gift to all of the poor in all 28 neighborhoods.
Christian Assembly Church in Eagle Rock, California, is working to eliminate medical debt for more than 5,500 families in neighborhoods across Los Angeles. When church leadership shared the plan with the congregation, the room erupting in applause. The church teaming up with nonprofit organization RIP Medical Debt. The company buys debt for just 1 penny per dollar, meaning thanks to this partnership, thousands of letters will be sent this week reading in part, you no longer have any obligation to pay this debt to anyone. Weighty words lifting the heavy burden of debt for scores of families in an unimaginable Christmas gift.
They open it and say, I'm glad I opened it because I had to read it 3 times because I couldn't believe somebody would be abolishing my debt.
The recipients don't know who they are yet because the letters don't go out until next week. And because of privacy laws, the names, they won't be released. But what a surprise Christmas gift for so many families. Guys.
Yeah, that church doing so much good. All right, Marcus, we thank you for that. And we're following a lot of other stories this morning. The urgent search for 2 Idaho siblings who haven't been seen in more than 3 months and now believed to be in serious danger. The new questions about their parents this morning as the FBI joins that investigation.
And an ABC News exclusive, the surfer who survived an attack by a 15-foot great white shark. Now he's telling his harrowing story only on GMA. But first, let's go back to Rob and that Christmas forecast.
Yeah, look, we've got fog in Chicago. Good morning to you. 30 degrees in fog, so freezing fog, dangerous situation there and across parts of I-90 in northern Indiana, getting into Ohio as well. So take it easy out there if you're driving. Time now for your Tuesday trivia, brought to you by Walmart.
Oh, here, look, here it is.
Yes.
And it's on rollback.
So cool.
Oh, it's a great price.
She's gonna love this. Soundbar.
So she can watch her cartoons in surround sound.
And football.
And football.
Yes. She loves football.
Oh, I know.
Well, sunny skies expected over the next 12 hours. Temperatures this morning starting off cold in the 30s, but we are going to climb this afternoon into the lower 50s with breezy sunshine. We stay dry with temperatures falling back down into the 30s after 8 o'clock tonight. Now, when Santa comes to town tonight, skies will be clear, but we could have a little bit of patchy fog possible. So be mindful of that waking up tomorrow morning. Your Christmas day, partly sunny and seasonably quiet with high temperatures in the mid to upper 40s.
Hey, need a laptop that boots up as fast as 6 seconds when you're running late? It's switching time. Or how about a battery that lasts up to 12 hours? Order up. Now we're cooking.